Thank you.
Man, that's a tall podium. Goodness. Good morning. First, I want to thank Progress Iowa and their executive director, Matt Sinovic, for his efforts in working with the sisters to put this event off. Matt, your steadfast commitment to social justice for every American is an inspiration to me, and it should be an inspiration to all of us. I had the pleasure of hearing Sister Simone speak this past July at the 41st International Convention of my union, AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. Sister Simone reminded us that the wealth of our nation is not based on the size of our bank accounts, but rather on the strength of our communities. It is by caring for and investing in our communities that we make this country work for all of us. As public service workers, AFSCME members know something about the importance of caring for our communities. We do it each and every day. We are nurses and healthcare workers. We are firefighters and public safety officers. We are teaching assistants and child care providers. We repair our roads, inspect our bridges. We keep our streets safe and our parks clean. And now the pages are stuck together. But in AFSCME, our identity as union members doesn't end when the workday does. We are committed activists who are willing to stand up for our beliefs. It was in 1968 that 1,300 sanitation workers from AFSCME Local 1733 made the tough choice to go on strike in Memphis, Tennessee. They were fed up with terrible working conditions that led to the death of 2 workers. They were fed up with poverty wages and the city's refusal to just recognize them as a union and sit down and bargain with them. And they were just tired of the racial slurs they had to endure on the job every day. Then in April of that year, the strikers were joined by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. because he knew of the link among labor rights, human rights, civil rights, and economic justice. And it was there in Memphis, while supporting AFSCME members, that Dr. King was killed by an assassin's bullet. So you see, our history is rooted in social justice, and we have never forgotten the legacy left to us by Dr. King. That is why I am here today, because there is still so much to do to achieve Dr. King's dream. Today in this country, the 400 richest families have more wealth than the bottom 150 million families combined. Think about that. 400 people have more money than 150 million of us. The richest of the rich, 1%, quadrupled over the past 30 years, while the rest of us have had to make do with a smaller and smaller and sometimes no piece of the pie. That kind of equality is not the America I know or we know. When I was raised and went to Catholic schools, I understood, I had a unique relationship with teachers. They had rulers and they liked to slap our knuckles, okay? But in the America I knew back then, and I want to know today, hard work is still rewarded with good wages. While there is much to do to reduce inequality, the first step Congress should take is to raise the minimum wage. As I was explaining earlier, we need a federal minimum wage raise. Each state can go above that federal rate, but we need a base. We need a starting point, because nobody can live on $7.25 an hour. Nobody. So, you know, not only should we be calling on President Obama and the Congress to raise the minimum wage, we should be calling on the guy that resides on the first floor of this building to raise the minimum wage in Iowa. No one who works hard every day should have to live in poverty. No one who works hard every day should have to struggle to put food on the table. No one who works hard every day should have to worry about paying their rent on time and providing for their health care needs. But that's the reality for the 7.5 million Americans earning minimum wage. They haven't had a raise in more than 5 years.
7.
7? Well, the International Union says 5, so I'll yell at them because they gave me that fact. I'll let them know you said 7. Anyway, 5, 7, 8, 10, it really doesn't matter. Minimum wage should be indexed to inflation so we don't have to come back and do this every year or every 5 years, 7 years, or 8 years. And today's minimum wage has less purchasing power than it did in 1968 when Dr. King went to Memphis. This is a matter of fairness. This is a matter of justice. Let's raise the wage. Say it with me. Let's raise the wage. Let's raise the wage. Sisters and brothers, we can do better for America's hardworking families. But if we're going to get it done, we have to get organized. We have to do our part and take part in our democracy. We have to vote for leaders who share our values. We have to fight for Dr. King's dream. That's what I believe the Nuns on the Bus tour is all about. Let's make our voices heard. Shout from the mountaintop, as Dr. King said. Make our voices heard.